Hello. Hold on, let me find out how to take off this flash. Okay. I had some shit to go over with this Umar Johnson dude. I've been following this, pro-black, hotep, black supremacy, genre on YouTube for about 6 years. I'm just curious. I find it interesting. And I don't know. I just listen to that stuff. It's not that I believe a lot of it or support it. It's just one of those weird topics I'm into. You know how there's a lot of people who watch pimple popping videos and it has 20 million views and they're just into weird shit? Well, it's just one of those weird genres that I'm into. But apparently there are still motherfuckers who are confused about Umar Johnson. Allegedly doctor. He's not no fucking doctor, and I'll explain that in a minute. But he claims to be a psychologist, a licensed practicing psychologist, who is a school psychologist, meaning, he deals with people at whatever school he works at, but he doesn't work at no fucking school. That I will also explain. And he's the principal of that school too, He ain't no fucking principal. But what is insane to me is no matter how much the people who donated money to him ask for, or just to see his degree, he refuses to do it, still to this day. And what I'm really confused about, when people invest in something, whether it's a hospital, an airport, a road project, into opening a new business, that person is required, if you go to any bank or private investor for a loan, to know everything that they're going to do. A full fucking business plan, expenses, construction, all the way down to the most finite details. Umar Johnson didn't do shit. He had no construction plans of this school or plans for remodeling or anything. He has no idea where he wants to buy the school, if he's buying property, then building it, or if he's buying some type of building that was a former school or a building that can be easily converted into a school. He had no list of cost. Of what type of faculty he's going to have, the curriculum of the school, what classes will be taught. He claimed in one video, someone asked him, hey, how's the school coming along? Or I don't know if they were insulting him or not, but he said, chill out, fam. We only got $100,000. The cheapest school I've ever seen was $1.1 million. Right there's a red flag, because people don't sell schools, unless it's private, but no one actually trades schools. So he spoke as if there's some Zillow or realestate.com that has schools listed for sale, like it's a fucking share of a company or something. So I want to know where the fuck he saw a school for sale for $1.1 million. I mean, he didn't see a fucking school for sale. I know he's full of shit and he pulled that off the top of his head, right out his ass. But no school is that fucking cheap, $1.1 million, unless it's like a 5 classroom school with 5 teachers and 1 person running it. He has no idea how the fuck he's going to legitimize the school and, make it recognized by a school board, to where the school would be taken seriously. If people say, I graduated for so-and-so, it would actually be recognized as a high school diploma or GED, whatever he plans on giving his graduates. And I guarantee you, if he was a psychologist and a principal. He had the money for the school. No fucking school board would recognize his school just by his fucking videos on the internet. So that's impossible. It's not gonna fucking happen, even if everything fell perfectly, right on time, right as planned, right as speculated. But, he has no idea how he's going to legitimize it. No construction plans, no cost, liabilities, the curriculum. He said he sold a school for $1.1 million. And here's just some things to think about. How much it will cost to start a fucking school. Not only are you going to have to buy the plot of land, you're going to have to buy the building, make it into a school. He's also going to have to hire chefs for the cafeteria for breakfast and lunch. He's going to have to pay for that food every day. Say he plans on having 400 kids there. He has to pay for 400 meals a day at lunch. Think of all the payroll for all the teachers who are going to be making 30, 40, 50, 60 grand. All the guidance counselors. The supplies, the computers. There's going to be a lot of computers in a school. All the software that drives the computers. All the vending machines there. How is he going to pay for the electric and water every fucking month? Normally when you have a commercial building like that, you make a deal with the city. Like, hey, I just pay you X amount a month. Some high price, say $10,000 or $12,000, $15,000, and you just give me unlimited electricity and water. He hasn't, came clean on how the fuck he's gonna do that. How he's gonna pay for the internet. He's gonna have to pay the dean. Like I said earlier, guidance counselors. He's gonna have to salary himself if he plans on being the principal. All the teachers. How's he gonna? He's gonna have to buy or figure out what his disciplinary action system's going to be and the consequences for bad actions. How the fuck's he going to pay for extracurricular activities like football, track, chess club? Is he going to have a stadium and actually have a track? Pull-up bars, a gym for the football team. Is he going to have a football team? Is he going to have a hockey team? If it's up north, no one knows. He hasn't said any of this. Imagine all the fucking books he's going to have to buy. He's going to have to make a fucking library in that bitch, which he's not going to be able to afford. All the desks and chairs. You can get good deals, if you're buying, 15,000 chairs and 1,000 desks. You can find wholesalers who will sell that to you for a good price, but hasn't said how the fuck he's going to do that or where he's going to get it from. You have to pass, he's going to have firefighters come in. He's going to have to install a fire safety system with, fire extinguishers and a water system or for the sprinklers. He's going to have a hazmat team check the areas all the time for chemicals. Hasn't discussed what any of that. He still to this day doesn't know where the fuck he's going to make the school. So he has a long way to go. Not just fire safety, but think about general safety. What type of security apparatus is he going to have around that school to keep the kids safe? Because I'm sure his policy would be no cracker police, no white police. But what the fuck? Is he going to have street goons up there with fucking Mac 10s in their waistband? Or is he going to hire local law enforcement like most police or like most schools do? Just think of all the school buses he's going to have to buy. He's going to have to come up with all the routes of the area. He's going to have to salary those bus drivers. He's going to have to keep them all insured. He's going to have to insure the buses. He's going to have to pay for all the diesel fuel for this. And now it's required you have to have cameras on the buses. So he's going to have a camera system and have that, connected to a server somewhere that collects every minute of every day that kids are riding the bus, and he's gonna have to store it for X amount of years, whatever the law requires. He's gonna have to have nurses with a clinic. medical supplies. He's gonna have to pay for monthly or quarterly lice checks. All types of shit that he has not told us what the fuck he's going to do. He has no plan at all. No idea what the fuck he's going to do for the school. Now think about all the money it's going to cost to get all that shit started. Now imagine he does all that and then he can't even legitimize the school, make it a recognized high school diploma. You know, he still doesn't even know the curriculum. Like, what's he going to teach? Pro-black history and think the state of Ohio or New York is going to recognize that as a history class when you're just talking about everything bad that white people have done, but you're not talking about, you know, inventing cars, inventing aircraft carriers, inventing planes, helicopter, and you're just bashing crackers all day in fucking history class. Like, imagine he pays for everything. All this fucking goes through. He manages to pay the bills, raises the money, now he's gonna have to pay for all that every single year. Where's he gonna get the revenue from? Because that motherfucker doesn't own businesses. You can't just rely on donations from poor people in the black community, or just hope a bunch of NBA players and NFL players or whatever are going to donate, the $10 million, $5 million, whatever it costs to run that school every year. 1 year he comes up short. He just ruined the kid's ability to get a degree there. So, alright, well, that's enough with just the bills and the fact that he doesn't have any fucking plan. In the business world, like I was starting to mention earlier, you have to have a plan before anyone will give you money. This motherfucker got money without saying a single detail. Still does not know where the school is going to be. He's the only principal and school psychologist that nobody has heard of. He still to this day hasn't shown his degree. Even though he's been summoned to court, people want to see his degree, the court system does, because he's claimed so much, and the court system couldn't do a simple search on him and find out. Don't just demand his fucking degree, because anyone can doctor a degree or a diploma. Tell him to show the fucking transcripts, which states every class he took and all the credits he has. He hasn't shown any licenses. He's not anywhere online in any database system of files as a practicing MD medical doctor. He's not part of any medical association. At least that name Umar Johnson doesn't show up. Apparently people are finding out his name is something else, like fucking Dasha Quantes or so. I don't know what the fucking name is, but now, if we find out that he's been going under a fake name the whole time, you already know with absolute certainty he's full of shit. But, on top of all that, he strangely wanted in a random, odd fraction of the cost. He claimed the cheapest school he saw, which is $1.1 million, which is not true. He did not see a school for sale. And he randomly asked for $100,000. Like, why did he only want less than 1/10 of the cost? Why hasn't he shown us that he still has that money, or at least half the money? He beefs with everybody who questions him. He even attacks his followers and people who donated to him. He's real braggadocious and has this high ego for no reason at all. He acts like he's like the first original motherfucker to want to build a school for the black community, or that goes around giving lectures. He's one of the latest people to do it. Like, he's so far behind. Motherfuckers have been doing this, since Garvey. He is not original or as bad as he claims to be. Now think about this. He's apparently a principal and a school psychologist, a practicing doctor. A principal is a motherfucker who runs a school, works a minimum of like 60 to 70 hours a week. A principal is the first one, or one of the first people in the school, one of the last ones to leave. Motherfucker will get there at 5:30, 6 in the morning, won't leave till 5 in the afternoon when all the teachers and staff are gone. You get millions of dollars for a budget that you have to manage. There's no time to be taking all the fucking vacation that Umar Johnson's on. What kind of fucking principal is traveling around to fucking China, Japan, Korea, all you know, the places that he's been to, going from coast to coast, city to city in the United States all the time as a principal? Let me know what fucking school lets their principal have 100 days of vacation a year to go preach Black Power, baby, Black Power. And let's just, you know, oh, another thing with that fucking money. Did you see the way he was acting with that fucking stripper? He was like a 12-year-old whipped boy. He said some shit like, or I guess he was like, hey girl, I want to smash your cookies. The fuck? I bet even that stripper was like, what the fuck? But, like, she was running game on him, and she probably got a couple bands out of the money you guys donated to his ass. But that's just some of the things I wanted to say, since people are still wondering if he's legit or not, if he's building the school, if he's really keeping the money. After you've seen this video, you let me know if you think Umar's a real principal, a real psychologist, a doctor, you know, if he's really plans on building a school when he has no idea how the fuck to build one or what he's gonna do. You know, man, fuck that motherfucker. He done played y'all.